stones at Puma Punku fit so precisely that a knife blade won't slide between them, and no one can explain how they were cut. High in the Andes, 12,000 feet above sea level, sit the ruins of Puma Punku, Bolivia. The site sprawls across a plateau near Lake Titicaca, abandoned for over 1,000 years. What remains are blocks of stone, some weighing 60 tons, arranged with a tolerance that modern engineers find unsettling. The cuts are straight, the angles are perfect, the joints are nearly invisible. The site's name translates to Gate of the Puma. Tiwanaku civilization built it, roughly between 300 and 1000 CE, or so the conventional timeline holds. But the precision doesn't fit the tools archaeologists say they possessed. No iron, no steel, no wheels. The blocks were cut, moved, and fitted with an accuracy that shouldn't exist in that context. In 1903, German archaeologist Max Uhle arrived at the ruins. He documented what he saw, measured the blocks, noted the joints. What he didn't know was that his measurements would, decades later, become the foundation of a genuine mystery, one that still hasn't been resolved. The blocks aren't random, they're cut into specific shapes. T-shaped channels run across some surfaces, others bear rectangular notches. These weren't decorative, they served a structural purpose, a form of interlocking that distributed weight and prevented seismic damage. The engineering logic is sound, the execution is inhuman in its precision. Consider the stone composition. The primary blocks are andesite, a volcanic rock with a Mohs hardness of around 6. To cut andesite with precision, you need tools harder than the stone itself. Obsidian maybe, bronze with abrasive powder, stone on stone with patience, but the cuts suggest something faster, something more efficient than anything the archaeological record supports. In 1945, American engineer Alden Mason examined the site. He took measurements, he tested the fit of the blocks, he consulted with stonemasons from his own era. Their verdict was consistent, the precision exceeded what could be achieved with hand tools and no power equipment. Mason didn't know then that his report would become ammunition for theories far more speculative than archaeology could stomach. The mainstream archaeological explanation is straightforward. The Tiwanaku possessed knowledge of stone working that was sophisticated for its time. They used water, patience, and leverage. Repetitive grinding with stone tools, abrasive sand, wooden wedges. It's plausible. It's also incomplete. No workshop sites have been found. No unfinished blocks showing the progression of the technique. No tool marks that match the proposed methods. The blocks themselves tell a different story when you look closely. Some surfaces show parallel striations, marks consistent with machine cutting or high-speed abrasion. Others display angles so acute that reproducing them with bronze tools would require a level of skill that leaves no margin for error. One attempt, one mistake, and the entire block becomes waste. Between 1950 and 1970, a handful of archaeologists proposed alternative timelines. What if Puma Punku was older than the Tiwanaku occupation? What if it was built by a preceding civilization whose knowledge we've lost? The academic consensus rejected these ideas. No evidence, too speculative, but the question remained in the margins unanswered. The metallurgical evidence complicates the picture further. Copper and tin deposits exist in the region. The Tiwanaku did work metal, but there's no archaeological layer showing the development of bronze tool technology in the centuries before Puma Punku's construction. The capability appears suddenly in the record, fully formed, no experimentation, no crude predecessors. In 1993, a team of engineers attempted to replicate the cutting technique on a single block of andesite using only tools available to the ancient world. The project took 6 months. The result was crude compared to the originals. The joints didn't align, the angles were off. The team concluded that either the ancient builders possessed undocumented knowledge or the conventional timeline was wrong. The site itself offers no written records. The Tiwanaku had no script or none that survives. Any documentation of the building method is lost. This absence is crucial. It means we're reading a structure without its instruction manual. The stones are the only text we have, and their grammar is ambiguous. Water erosion has obscured much of the original surface detail. The site has been looted. Blocks have been removed for construction elsewhere. What remains is incomplete, but even in its damaged state, the precision is undeniable. Modern surveyors consistently measure gaps of less than 2 millimeters between blocks that weigh dozens of tons. The seismic resilience of the design is remarkable. The region sits on active fault lines. Earthquakes are common, yet the structure survived for over 1,000 years without mortar. The interlocking mechanism allowed blocks to shift slightly without collapsing. This suggests an advanced understanding of structural mechanics or trial and error across centuries. The mystery isn't that Puma Punku was built. Humans built remarkable structures throughout history. The mystery is the method, the tools, the knowledge system that produced such precision without leaving a trace of its own development. The archaeological record shows a gap, a sudden appearance of capability, then abandonment. Today, Puma Punku remains partially excavated. Modern archaeology continues to study the site. New theories emerge. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed structures beneath the surface, chambers, passages, evidence of a larger complex than previously understood. But the fundamental question persists: how did they do it? The answer may lie in evidence we haven't found yet, or it may lie in a technique so simple that modern engineers overlook it, trapped in assumptions about what ancient peoples could accomplish. Puma Punku stands as a reminder that the archaeological record is incomplete. What we know is always smaller than what we don't. Subscribe for the next unsolved mystery, where the evidence contradicts the official narrative.